They say it's eat or be eaten. Those are rules of the jungle, but you can just leave the jungle. And that's in the Bible. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil is the tree of that bitch, the tree of victim and victor. You could have the tree of life. Ain't no shade on the tree of life because it's being lit by the flame of that angel sword, right? The flame of your own feelings you got to deal with when you're sitting in the cold, sitting alone, right? So don't burn no bridges. The Moses, when it was staff that turned into a serpent, okay. When they parted the Red Sea, that wasn't burning the bridge. Why was the Red Sea? Why was the Red Sea that Moses burned? That was a burning bridge, wasn't it? Right. So may the bridges I burn light the way, the same way the sword, the flaming sword of the angel guarding the tree of life does. You choose. You choose. You choose. The tree of the knowledge of good and evil is the tree of codependency. Happy wife, happy life. The tree of life is being able to sit in the cold. It's being able to sit in the cold. A life of service. That is the tree of life. A life of service. And ignoring that bitch because she gonna divide herself. And if you see her as you and you grade her as equal to you, you will be so fucking devastated. You can't lean on her. You cannot lean on her. That is not the tree of life. Tree of life is accepting responsibility for my entire body. Like, even though we want to do the opposite sometimes. No, you're not another voice. You're just slowing me down, but I'm patient. That's good. I like the cold, right? I don't need the friction. I can be a little patient. I can wait on the next bump, right? The bitch need her bumps every day. That's why she always going to the bathroom, right? She lives under the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, the tree of loss. She knows she lost. A game was meant to age him. That's why it's spelled like that. Age him. Why was Monopoly invented? To burn time. Games, the game of life, age them. Don't play the shit. What do you mean? I ain't got no options. Yes, you do. Step on the tree of life. It's just gonna be painful. You're gonna be scared doing it. You're gonna be scared doing it. See, the tree of comfort, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, that's the tree of comfort. That's the tree of non-existence. How you gonna win? How you gonna turn two into one without flipping one of them? Right? Right, exactly. You turn two into one by accepting you're not my enemy, you're just slowing me down. You flip it, right? You don't never turn to one. The tree of life accepts that, right? No, you're not my enemy. You just my ass, slow as hell, my slow ass, my slow fat ass. No, you saying no. I'm an oppressor. On the tree of knowledge of good and evil, I'm not your slow ass. I'm not your fast brain. I'm not your helper. I'm your enemy. I'm trying to oppress you. I'm the person putting my boot on your neck. That's what the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Tree of life says my body would never, but the sun would be misaligned. I mean, how could this be the daytime? The sun would only come out at night when I need this light, right? It must be the night when the sun comes out because the sun would never work against me because I am the face of the sun. The sun is convex and I'm concave. The sun is concave and I'm convex. It's like a big-ass pupil. I must be the other side of the eyeball. It just must be rich arranged. It's on this side of it, on this side of my face. It must be just rich arranged. On that side of my face, my eyeball looks like an actual ball. But on this side of the face, the ball looks like a, what is that? What's that inverted ball? Concave, it looks like a half pipe on both sides. What's that symbol? Somebody made that logo out of that. It's like a Coke bottle, like a bottleneck, right? Right. So it can either look like a ball or it can look like a bottleneck. Right, so it's gonna be round or long. Like you said, it's either long faces or the round faces. The round faces are a tree of good and evil. The long faces are a tree of life. That's why one starts with an L. Right, long faces, life. Right. Serpent, staff, S. Was coincident. It's not no coincidence. Not a coincidence. As long as I don't cross no lines, I'm not lying to myself like a bitch would when they talk about you want to be friends. Right? Then it don't matter if I'm using make believe or what you would call real life. Because what are you but a ghost that I created?